Hello, all you denizens of Zero Hour. I want to apologize. Once again, I've let the weekend slip away from me between helping my wife draft council reports and writing letters of rec and reading college application essays. I've been a bit swamped. Anyway, I wanted to post this video. If you're not watching it on Sunday night, that's not a problem. Remember that this first draft of your Transcendentalist essay is not due until Thursday. We'll spend Thursday doing a peer review session. We'll get a little feedback from some of your peers. You will tinker with that draft, resubmit your first formal draft to me on Monday. I'll read those and then respond to them, get them back to you, and you will revise them again. So don't, ease off on the pressure. Again, this is meant to be a non-traditional essay assignment. This is not an analytical essay, a 5-paragraph essay in which your thesis is neatly stated at the end of your opening paragraph, yada, yada, yada. As I said in the description of the assignment, the essay itself is an extremely elastic form. I'd love to have you have some fun stretching it in whatever way you want. A number of you have approached me outside of class and said, oh, I don't know how to approach this thing. I'm not sure about the structure and whatnot. There are any number of ways to approach this. And I know that doesn't help, but understand that when you get to college, and this is meant to be a college level course, many of your writing assignments are going to be more frustrating for you in trying to develop a response to them than actually writing the essay itself. Anyway, in this essay, what I'm asking you to do simply is to respond to a few of the observations that the writers we've been reading have made so far. One way to approach it would be simply to rip out lines from the essays. Maybe you take Emerson's notion that imitation is suicide and throw it down. And you have a long paragraph in which you respond to that. Is that true? Is it not true? Is this kind of conformity easy to avoid, difficult to avoid in contemporary society? Maybe you want to look again, as I said, at Thoreau's notion that we should simplify, simplify, simplify. How possible is that to do? Maybe by contrast, you want to actually take one of these writers and introduce them into, through the magic of writing, into your life. Again, boom, boom, boom. Somebody knocks on your door, you open it up, it's Emerson. You say, oh, I gotta get to school. And he says, hey, can I tag along? And you actually drag Emerson to school and have him respond to the methodologies and practices that are prevalent here at Target High School. Maybe you want to write in opposition to something some of these writers have said. Maybe this notion that whoso should be, must be a man, must be a nonconformist, maybe that's impossible. Again, any approach is fine. And I got to tell you that I'm working a lot of this year's seniors, and I'm encouraging them to go back and look at the essays they wrote in response to this assignment last fall, because they're pretty easily leveraged into college application essays. Maybe you want to expand on what you wrote about the meaning of nature in your life, the way you did in the Toward End Nature assignment. Maybe you just want to, take Emerson or Thoreau or Whitman or all three of them. Maybe you just want to head out on a walk up Bear Creek, or maybe you're heading down the, across the valley floor, and you want to meditate on some of the ideas we've encountered in these transcendentalists. What I want to do is I want to share with you 3 essays, which I don't know if you've had a chance to look at. These are on our webpage. And if you go down to, if you look at class readings, Transcendentalists, I've got a few essays posted here. You certainly don't have to read these. You're not going to be tested on them. These are sample readings for the Emerson non-essay assignment. These are meant simply as models, simply, give you a sense of the different approaches you could take. I'm not going to pull up a slide Saturday evening because it's printed sideways, so I can't really talk about it. But in that essay, E.B. White, author of Charlotte's Web, on the 100th anniversary of the publication of Walden, has a long essay in which the first, 3/4 of the essay talks about the book Walden itself, which you can read or not read, doesn't matter. But in the last section of the essay, he says, I sometimes amuse myself by bringing Thoreau to life and showing him the sights. And of course, he's writing 100 years after the publication of Walden, which was published in 1850. So he's bringing Thoreau forward to 1950s New York. And he shows him the sights. And he has Thoreau respond. For example, he shows him at one point, which is a pretty dramatic point in the essay. He says, I showed Thoreau the essay that vanished in the the island that vanished in the blink of an eye. And of course, he's talking about the nuclear testing in the late 1940s on Bikini Atoll, which pulverized the island. Of course, Thoreau responds. Another way is here's this Be Different by Luc Sante. And Luc Sante says, so how do you express the uniqueness of yours? Maybe you always unfailingly wear red socks, you wear your watch on the pulse side of your wrist, or you have a hummingbird tattooed above your ankle, yada, yada, yada. He goes on this long list. And basically, he's making the argument that even as we try to differentiate ourselves from others, we wind up associated with kind of like a subgroup. And his argument is that it's impossible to conform. He doesn't quote Emerson or Thoreau or Whitman, but he takes this idea of conformity, our desire to be a nonconformist, to be different, and he runs with it. That would be another approach to the essay. If you look at Down the River with Henry David Thoreau, again, you don't have to read these essays. It's a terrific essay. What happens here is Thoreau and a bunch of his buddies decide to head down. He says our river is the Green River in southeast Utah. We load our boats at a place called Mineral Bottom, where prospectors once searched for gold, later for copper, still later for uranium, with little luck. With me are 5 friends, plus the ghost of a 6th. In my ammo can, the river runner's handbag, I carry a worn and greasy paperback copy of a book called Walden, or Life in the Woods. And so what he does is he goes down there, and I'm not going to go through this whole essay here, but there's moments where he goes back and forth. He's telling the story of a river trip, which is narrative and really interesting. But at the same time, he's speculating on what Thoreau would think of what he's doing. He quotes from Thoreau, and then he kind of, ruminates on the ideas that Thoreau is offering, and and kind of runs with them. So this is essentially what I'm looking for from this essay. I'm not sure how helpful this little video is, but I want you to relax. I want you to honestly find what you found most meaningful in these essays that we've read, whether it be something that really resonates with you and that you agree with, or something that you think is ridiculous or absurd. And I want you to write about that. I want you to draw on your own experience, and I want you to have some fun with it. We'll be peer editing these, or peer reviewing, peer workshopping these essays on Thursday. And your first formal draft isn't due till Monday. I'm going to read these, I'm going to respond to them, and give you hopefully some helpful feedback, and you'll revise them again. So don't sweat these essays. Have some fun with them. We'll be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, all about reading Scarlet Letter. I've got a reading schedule for you, which I'll give you tomorrow. We've got another vocab quiz. I'll give you the quiz. You guys can do it at home. We'll go over it on Tuesday and take it for real on Wednesday. And that's about it. So I hope you have a great weekend. Hope this video is helpful. Let me know if it is or isn't, because if this is something that I can do more of, I'd be happy to. At the same time, if it's kind of pointless, let me stop sharing here. If it's kind of pointless, I don't want to waste your time. So anyway, hope you had a good weekend. Hope Brews and Blues, or whatever it is, was not too disruptive. That you're having a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.